How's it going, gamers? Blackheart in the house, and today we're going to talk about what Five Nights at Freddy's 2 was meant to be at time of release, although FNAF 3 was planned by this time already. I'm going to be doing this one a little bit different than the first one. I'm not going to look at this as a final game in the series, rather just simply what it was meant to mean at the time of release. So stay tuned. The second game was always meant to be a prequel, set in 1987, massively hinting that this is the location in which the bite of 87 occurred. We'll get into who the culprit was meant to be at the time of release later. This being a prequel, we wonder where the withered animatronics come from, which Phone Guy does tell us.
By now I'm sure you've noticed the older models sitting in the back room. Those are from the previous location.
There are two locations set before the one we are currently in.
Fredbear's Family Diner
and the original Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Was kind of left to rot for quite a while, but
the withered animatronics come from the original Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. I do remember believing at the time that they came from Fredbear's Family Diner, which was not meant to ever be the case. However, they tried retrofitting them with newer technology and even used them very briefly at this location, which does explain these kids' drawings. Either that or the kids got good memory from the previous location, but I doubt that. I won't be getting into retrofit theory or unwithered theory, however I do believe the FNAF 2 nightmares are caused by Jeremy wearing the Freddy mask, having flashbacks of what the Freddy kid, unnamed at the time, went through at the original Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Now let's talk about the death minigames and what they were originally supposed to tell us. I believe that Take Cake takes place at Fredbear's Family Diner, and the child murdered outside goes on to possess the puppet. The child was also originally supposed to be a boy. I'm not going to claim that this was the one retcon Scott mentioned years later, because there's evidence against that, but the voice spelling "save him" is pretty clear proof that this child was originally a boy. Go 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 takes place at the first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, which still holds some truth today. We see Foxy run into a room with 5 children a few times, but on his third attempt, there is a purple man in the corner smiling. The 5 children are now dead, and this was the missing children's incident at time of release. Give Gifts, Give Life takes place in the back room at the same original Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. We see the puppet try to give the corpses gifts, which does nothing. And when that doesn't work, the puppet gives masks to each of the dead kids. Now whether or not the puppet stuffed the kids into the animatronics at time of release, I still don't think so. This was always meant to be symbolic, and I believe the killer did that himself as to hide the bodies. The final minigame, referred to as Save Them, takes place in the same building as the FNAF 2 gameplay. The puppet enlists the help of Withered Freddy, who is possessed by this time, to save them. There are corpses scattered everywhere around the new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. At time of release, there was really no explanation for this, so the theory still stands that these could have been teenagers that broke in and did not make it out. I'm not sure if the killer did this at time of release, even, as he went out of his way to hide the kids' bodies before, so maybe these teenagers broke in and the withered animatronics murdered them, assuming they were adults. However, that does not explain the purple man's reason for showing up and stopping Freddy in this minigame. However, that does not have to be canonical. These teenagers do go on to possess the toy animatronics, including Balloon Boy and JJ. The evidence for JJ was even in this minigame. There is a visible puddle of blood under a table, and during the night gameplay, there is a very rare chance of seeing JJ under your desk. At the time, I do believe Mangle was meant to cause the bite of 87, and Jeremy was the victim. I don't believe this in today's FNAF standards, however, at the time it was most likely, and it was likely due to the toy animatronics being possessed, and possibly taking it out on Jeremy for allowing them to get killed by the withered animatronics during his night shift. A bit of a stretch, but that was normal for early days FNAF. I also believe that what I stated in my previous episode was still true by the time of FNAF 2. Phone Guy was still meant to be the killer, and Golden Freddy was still meant to be a suit, and most likely still the earliest version of Freddy shown in the minigames, which we could have now referred to as Fredbear. At the time, the shadow animatronics were meant to be no more than hallucinations, as that was a normal concept in the first game, and now in this game. This has been an interesting one, and I'm sorry it has to end here for now. If you want to see me make a third one, then like this video and subscribe. I would like to keep making these. I don't know if I'm going to do quite every game, but I will do every early FNAF game, if that makes sense. So I want to thank you for watching. I hope you keep watching. Like and subscribe. Peace.